Money Changers is all about massive changes in the way in which we think about and use money. It actually amounts to a fundamental change in our experience of money. Why is this happening? Well, first of all, we're seeing a huge transition towards cashless. In Sweden, only 15% of people can actually remember the last time they used cash. It's happening because there's massive changes taking place in the global payments industry. We've got new intermediaries coming into the market. We're seeing the neobanks really beginning to look successful now. We're seeing existing banks trying to fight back by setting up their own challenger banks. But if you look hard at what these neobanks and challenger banks are doing, they're fundamentally changing our experience of money. We're seeing, for example, share transaction fees slashed to zero in the US just over the last year. We're seeing trust in banks. In the Edelman Trust Barometer, banks shockingly are one of the least trusted sectors now. We're seeing also two speeds emerging, not faster or slower, just different tracks taking place in the developing world and the developed world, where we're seeing different kinds of action taking place. But in both areas, these are leading to a fundamental change in the way in which we think about money. And lastly, we're seeing, of course, new currencies beginning to emerge. Imagine that what this will deliver us is new ways of thinking about how we transmit value from one person to another. Think of it like a music file. So music just used to be music, but now as a digital file, it can contain other information like who the artist is, or what the lyrics were, or when it was recorded, etc., etc. Imagine money just did exactly the same, that the dollar in your pocket, of course we're going to have to stop thinking of it like that, that the dollar in your pocket actually carried with it other meta information. If I send one to you, I could send a Deliveroo voucher with it, for example. Just like you send a photograph, you'll be sending money with meta information attached to it. Or imagine that the information attached to it allowed you to get a discount that you wouldn't have been able to get otherwise because it knows how old you are, or something that you've done which enables that discount to happen. So money in this sense becomes a bearer of more than just the unit of currency that it represents. Alongside that, we'll have biometrics increasingly beginning to affect the way in which we access our money. And as these things come together, the two things that are going to matter a great deal are experience and competency. So those organizations, banks or otherwise, that can deliver these new mental models to people through great experience and build trust in their competence, they are the ones that are going to be the big winners and the money changers.